Hey folks, Arizona Guy here. It is October 30th, 2025. Phoenix, Arizona. Sunny Phoenix, Arizona. It is a beautiful 83 degrees today. A little bit of a breeze. It is super nice. I came up here to the grocery store. I'm going to make some chicken Alfredo tonight, so I needed to get some stuff. So anyway, let's talk about customer service today. This is 2025 and customer service, it's the worst I've ever seen it. It is absolutely terrible trying to get a company or business to reach out to you, to return your calls, to provide the services that you're requesting. I don't get it. If I ran a business and the people I had were not following through with my customers and taking care of their needs and requirements, I would be raising hell and I would be firing people and hiring new people. As a business owner, I just simply would not tolerate the incompetence of my employees. And I'll give you an example. So many of you don't know, my house had some truly significant damage during the last two Arizona monsoon storms / microbursts that we encountered here in Phoenix. My roof is torn. I got shingles off. It took Farmers Insurance 14 days to send an insurance adjuster out to my home in Phoenix to survey the damage. And she was great. She was very nice. She was very educated in repairing roofing. And she was there for, I don't know, 25 minutes, walking around my place, getting up onto the roof, looking. And like I say, she was great. But it took 14 days after the storm, after the claim was filed, for her even to arrive at my home to look at the damage. Then the roofing company, same thing. The roofing company were contacted the day after I noticed the damage on the roof. They came out, they surveyed the damage, they said, oh yeah, it's an insurance claim. They wrote up some paperwork, and again, haven't heard a word from them in over 14 days. One of the guys finally contacted me this morning, but I had to send an email to the company before I could get one of their people to respond. Are they a good roofing company? I don't know. But if their service representatives are so slow in contacting people and taking care of business, I don't know. I mean, it takes forever to get something done. I basically have a bare roof because I went up there and just tore off the rolled roofing that got torn. I cut it off with a razor knife and just threw it down on the ground because there was no sense of it being up there. It wasn't doing anything. It got tore off with the 60 or 70 mile an hour winds we had. So my roof is covered in plastic. It's been covered in plastic for over 14 days. And the roofing company just gets with me this morning. And now they have to come back out and they have to look again. They're probably going to jack up their price for doing the roof. Because, see, Farmers Insurance only paid me $6,500. And the roof repair is probably going to be somewhere around $12,000 or $13,000. So I have to make up the difference. But you know what? At this point, I don't care. I just want my roof fixed. I've got some drywall damage in my entryway as you walk in my front door. I got some drywall on the ceiling that's collapsed. I got it also covered in plastic. I just want to get things fixed. And it should not take over 14 days to get a response, to get some service. I mean, Phoenix is a huge city with literally hundreds of roofing companies. And it's got to be pretty stiff competition out there. It seems like you'd want to knock these jobs out. Get one done, get another one done, go so on and so on. And make some money and keep your people busy and give the people a quality job. But it's like these companies don't care. It's like they're willing to take losses or whatever. I don't get it. Like my 2006 Dodge Ram here, my fuel pump was leaking all around the top of it. It was leaking gas in the driveway. And I could have replaced the fuel pump myself. But at 65 years old, I didn't feel like crawling underneath my truck and dropping the gas tank. And so I took it over to Big O Tires. And I told them just to work it in when they could. They called me within 20 minutes of dropping off my truck over there to tell me the fuel pump, what my choices were on fuel pumps, what the price difference was on fuel pumps. And then they happened to notice that I had a bent lower control arm from apparently hitting a curb or whatever, I don't know. And asked me if I wanted that fixed, and that the truck needed a front end alignment and ball joints. And they gave me a price and how long it would take. And I told them, yeah, go ahead. And they knocked this truck out basically overnight. I mean, I was able to pick it up the next afternoon. And right now, it drives like a brand new truck. So thank you, Big O Tires. I've used Big O Tires for several years now, over here on Thunderbird and Tatum. They're fabulous. They have a great manager. They have great mechanics. They care about their customers. But, man, some of these other businesses that you try to do business with, honestly, they suck. They just absolutely suck. I don't get it. Like I say, man, if I owned the business or I managed the business and I had employees that weren't functioning at the top of their game and I was losing money, I was losing jobs because people couldn't count on me responding, I would cut my losses and get new people, man, I'm telling you. Customer service in 2025 is almost unheard of. I mean, there are, like I said, Big O Tires. They're fabulous. They're fabulous at communication. They'll send you a text. They'll call you. They are right on top of it because they want happy customers. But some of these other places, I guess they don't want happy customers. I mean, I couldn't believe Farmers Insurance, 14 days to even come out and look at a claim. It's sad. It's really, really sad. So anyway, folks, what else is going on in the world today? Like I say, it's so nice in Phoenix. I've got my pool really clean now after the big storm. I had so much sand in that pool that it took days and days to vacuum it out and skim all the crap off the top of it. And now, actually, it's too cold to use. The water is already, since we've been getting down in the 60s at night, the water is already 73 degrees, which is too cold for anyone who has spent 20 years or more in Arizona to get into. Because at 73 degrees, that water feels really cold. But anyway, that's desert life. So I'm certainly glad to see that Trump is making progress. And what is the deal with the Democrats wanting to continue the government shutdown? I don't get it. Does the government shutdown have any effect on me? No, I don't know the government shutdown. I'm still getting my retirement check. I'm still getting my Social Security check. I'm still paying my bills. I'm still living. I'm still buying groceries. I'm still buying gas. I don't know that the government is shut down. It is not affecting me. And the one thing I do have to report is we were paying $3.80 a gallon in Phoenix, Arizona for a gallon of gas. I see that that has dropped. Now it's $3.55 a gallon, which is still much higher than other parts of the country. But honestly, I can live with $3.50 a gallon. I don't drive that much. But if you work and you're driving 45 minutes, it adds up quickly. So I think for Arizona to have $3.55 a gallon gasoline is still outrageous to people that are working and buying a lot more fuel than I do. I mean, even this truck right now, it gets 16 miles per gallon around town. And I don't think that's bad. I don't drive that much. Take the truck to Home Depot, take it to the grocery store. I don't drive it that much. I take my Ford Escape that gets about 23 miles to a gallon if I'm going to go anywhere. But like I say, the price of gas doesn't really affect me that much because I don't buy that much gasoline. But I'm glad to see that Trump is actually making forward momentum. And these people, what kind of people go to these rallies? Like this No Kings rally? That was such a joke. I looked at some of the people that were attending No Kings rally. They were either absolute freaking morons with rings in their noses and tattoos and pink hair, or they were people in their 80s in wheelchairs and canes, walking with canes, who had nothing else to do. They just wanted to get out of the house and get some fresh air or whatever, so they attended the No Kings rally. Big deal. There was nobody even there under 50 years old. Absolutely crazy. And then I watched these other dumb protesters protesting ICE. Now, if you've got newcomers in your neighborhood that are actually in country unlawfully, me as a citizen who worked my entire life and then was able to retire, I don't want them in my neighborhood anyway. I don't want people here that just suck off the teeth of government. I want people here who work and take care of themselves and their families. I don't need any more welfare recipients entering America. So if these people are in cities and neighborhoods and communities unlawfully, meaning that they shouldn't be here, that they weren't citizens of our country, I want them out. I am certainly not going to protest ICE removing them. Just not going to happen. I am glad to see ICE actually remove them. I'm happy with that. That's what I voted for. Get them all out. Maybe some of them will have the opportunity to come back the legal way, if that's what they choose. And if they can come back the legal way and get jobs and support themselves and their families, good. But you got to do it legally. You cannot be in the country unlawfully, period. You got to go. That's just how I feel. And I'm not going to change my mind if I see some little sympathy story on the mainstream media, which I don't watch anyway. I watch very little news anymore. I get most of my news from X. But I really don't care. As long as we're not in a war, as long as the economy is rolling along, as long as the air and the water are clean, and I'm able to live my life in a safe neighborhood, I'm good. I don't need anything. I don't need anything from the government. I am very self-sufficient, and I think actually a great majority of Americans are. And that's what we want here. We don't want a bunch of people entering our country automatically seeking government assistance. Nobody would want that. Why would you want that? Why would you go protest ICE from removing people who are in America unlawfully? I'm sorry, but I don't understand. I don't want to spend my time going to some kind of idiotic protest. It's stupid. Anyway, folks, that's what I have for you today. Please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. And leave a comment. Let me know how everything else is going in your world. Have a wonderful day. And as Dave Paulides always says, the kindness revolution. Hold a door open for somebody, offer to carry a package for them, or whatever it takes. Go out into the world and be kind. Be generous. Go out into the world and be a nice person. Be the better person. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Arizona Guy, out.